Hello friends and my lovely viewers. Welcome back to the channel of Neon Safe. Today we will talk about the new upcoming Guardian of Bloodline. Let's get started.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. I'm tired of shit.
Our Guardian has been named Hydron, and in his active skill he will select the two highest strength enemy champions and apply an effect called Judgment to them. This effect allows Hydron to deal 1250% strength damage to the selected enemies, and he also steals 15% of their current strength. 60% of the stolen strength will be returned after 6 seconds, while the remaining 40% will be kept with our Hydron. In each battle, our Hydron can gain up to 48% of his initial strength through this skill. All the strength stolen after reaching the limit will be returned after 6 seconds. Additionally, after using this skill, the champion will gain a 60% increase in attack speed for 8 seconds. His active skill sounds extremely good. We are putting the high strength enemies at major risk just by placing Hydron in our team. To put it simply, he deals a pretty high amount of damage to the enemies, then he steals some of their strength, and only returns 60% of the stolen strength back to the enemy after some time. The remaining 40% stolen strength will stay with our Hydron. We do have a limit set, and exceeding the limit causes all our stolen strength to be returned back to the enemy after 6 seconds. So we will need to increase our Hydron strength to increase this limit, and by doing so make our Guardian capable of stealing more strength before having to give it back again. We also gain an attack speed buff for 8 seconds after the skill, which I honestly think may be very useful to us. This is a very impressive and promising start, so let us see his passive skill next. In battle, if our Guardian's normal attack, active skill, or ultimate skill hit an enemy, the strike will apply 1 layer of Draconic Marker. We will get back to what exactly this marker does when discussing the Guardian skill. Our passive skill also gives our Guardian a 36% lifesteal throughout the battle, and his normal attack will throw a piercing spear at the target, which deals 200% strength damage to all enemies along the path. When there are enemies within close range, our Guardian will move a short distance backwards while performing a normal attack. Our Guardian reduces damage taken by 50% and gains immunity to control effects during the movement. We have lots of effects going on in this passive skill. To sum it up, our Guardian can apply a mark to enemies, he constantly has a lifesteal effect during the entire battle, his normal attacks are buffed and can hit enemies along the path, and when enemies get too close he jumps back while dealing a normal attack, and he gets a 50% damage reduction buff plus immunity to control effects. This is overall a very impressive passive, which is to be expected of him as a Guardian. I feel like we may benefit greatly, especially from the lifesteal effect, the buffed normal attack, and the Draconic Mark. Those points look amazing, and I really hope they won't disappoint us in battle. Moving on to the ultimate skill next. Our Hydron Guardian will throw 2 enchanted spears consecutively towards the dense area of enemies. This attack knocks back all enemies along the path and deals 750% strength-based true damage. The spears stay in the ground for 3 seconds, and deal 260% strength damage per second to enemies within the area. While this is going on, the enemies affected will be unable to regain Constitution for the next 4 seconds. Our Guardian basically deals AoE damage to enemies multiple times, and prevents the enemy from regaining Constitution for a set period of time. This skill looks pretty good in my opinion, and we may be able to deal some real damage to the enemy if our strength is high. 750% strength true damage plus 260% damage into 3 times does add up to a nice amount, so this is a very damage-focused ultimate skill, which may make a huge difference in battle. Anyways, we still have the Guardian skill remaining. This skill description is very long and may be difficult to understand, but we will try our best to explain it. When an enemy receives a total of 4 Draconic Marks, all mark-inflicted enemies will be targeted by a spear which deals 720% strength-based true damage to enemies in the area. All Draconic Marks will be removed afterwards, and each removed mark increases the spear's damage by an additional 20%. Enemies that are hit by the spear will take 2% of their max Constitution as true damage per second for the next 5 seconds. It goes up to 2000% of our Guardian's own strength, and can stack up to 3 times. Our Guardian is immune to control effects while using this skill. When the resolve is at its maximum, our Guardian will actively consume all resolve to enhance himself for 7 seconds. During this enhancement, each application of Draconic Mark will apply 2 layers instead. The Guardian will gain immunity to damage while the spear descends, and enemies that are hit by the spear will be silenced for an additional 3 seconds. When it comes to his resolve, our guardian gains resolve each time he deals damage in battle. This effect increases by 50% when there is only one enemy in battle. Our guardian is immune to control effects while using the guardian skill, and he cannot gain resolve for 10 seconds after using it. In short, the moment one enemy gets 4 marks, all marked enemies will receive a 720% strength-based attack. For each mark that disappears from taking damage, 20% more damage will be added to the same spear attack. So if we have one enemy with 2 marks, and one enemy with 4 marks, then a 20% attack buff will be added 6 times to the spear attack while it is striking enemies. The enemy will also take more damage on top of this, depending on the enemy's constitution. I honestly believe this guardian skill looks purely DPS based, and it should theoretically speaking work exceptionally well on the battlefield. Along with the damage outputs, the guardian skill also allows us to apply 2 marks instead of 1, while the skill is going on. And we gain immunity to control as well as we silence the enemy while the spear descends. Every skill of his looks amazing, and super useful to be honest. So he may possibly become the new hype amongst our guardians. That is at least the pattern we have seen so far. Newer guardians tend to be better than our previous ones. And considering that this guardian is very focused on dealing damage, he may outconquer our previous DPS-based guardians. Anyways, we still have a couple of clan traits to check out, as well as the 3 free trait slots. So let us move on. The first clan trait of our guardian is called Energy Regen, and this one originates from the Shodan clan. At skill level 22, our guardian gains 240 energy when taking active skill or ultimate attack damage. The cooldown is 8 seconds. So as long as our guardian is struck by either active skills or ultimate skills, our guardian will gain extra energy, which helps him launch more skill attacks. This is a very useful clan trait for our Hydron, since he is very reliant on launching skills frequently. The number 2 clan trait of our Hydron is called Obliterate. This one originates from our Sith champions. At level 22, when our guardian releases the ultimate skill, his damage will increase by 25% for 6 seconds. This effect does not stack. I feel like both clan traits mentioned are very compatible with each other, since Energy Regen allows us to launch skills more frequently, while this skill gives us a pretty good damage buff whenever we launch the ultimate skill. So these clan traits may not look that great separately, but together they are incredibly nice to have. I cannot find any loopholes or problems with the chosen clan traits for our Hydron, to be honest. Let us discuss the remaining 3 slots for our guardian. First off, I seriously believe the trait called Brutal will be our most important trait for our Hydron. At level 22, Brutal gives our guardian a 45% increase in strength. He is severely dependent on the amount of strength in all of his skills, and thus we may want to prioritize this trait for him. For the second slot, we may want to try out the trait called Aggressive. At level 22, each attack our guardian makes will increase his strength by 2%, and this goes up to a total of 20%. We may benefit greatly from this trait if our Hydron is fast at launching attacks, and I personally believe he should be quick enough to make a difference with this aggressive trait. In the last trait slot we may try out Barrier, to give our guardian a little bit of defense. At level 22, when launching active skill, this trait gives our guardian a shield equal to 700% of strength for 8 seconds. This is also based on the amount of strength our guardian has, which is very compatible with the Brutal and Aggressive trait. Do keep in mind, by the way, these are just my own personal suggestions of traits, and there may be various other trait combinations that are just as great. So feel free to explore by trying out different trait comps. That all being said, we have covered the topic for today. If you have any questions or thoughts about this guardian, feel free to comment below. To partake in our giveaways, subscribe to the channel, and you may also leave a like or share the video with your friends if you want to. We highly appreciate your support and contribution. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and have an amazing day. Take care, stay foxy, adios, bye.